Yes, graduates, welcome to Hard Talk Podcast with HTK. Fasten your seatbelts.
Hey, users and subscribers, welcome back to another episode of Hard Talk with HTK. The world seems to be in upheaval. I'm talking about from all corners of the earth. Things are going on. I'm sure by now you've heard about the murders that took place in Jamaica, where some deportee just decides to open fire on innocent people and was gunned down. Well, in addition to that, we have some tragic news to report. A Guyanese influencer by the name of Nelly Farley has allegedly been stabbed. He is currently in stable condition, so, at least that is some good news. But what could have caused something like this to happen is beyond me. This young man is mostly popular on TikTok. He calls his Team Hot Oil. He is popular for his vivacious views on relationships. He tends to give a lot of advice to females about how to stand up to abusive and cheating men. He basically, in his own way, tries to empower women to make the best decisions for themselves and not to be taken for fools by men who are out to exploit them. That's mostly what I've seen from his content. He's a young man. What could have made him a target is beyond me. And the only thing I can think of is that more than likely it has something to do with some personal beef. Uh, we're seeing so many of these nowadays across social media where influencers are at risk. And I often ask myself the question when I see some controversial influencers go out of their way to create aggro and conflict with other people, whether or not they value their lives. Now, Nelly was not necessarily this type of influencer. He has had some views that have been controversial, and he has said some things that possibly might offend. For example, take a listen to this video.
It's from them fucking strictness. Whoever put them fuck with in your head, and here what I could tell you though, right? God there with you. They sorry for you. God didn't there with you, you know. You got certain thing God don't there with you. You what telling you? You count the Hindu people them as love. You hear what telling you, dog? On a real life level. Never you ever in life again make them fucking stupid mistake them for clouds, brother. Don't me see nothing funny in the way I see enough of them laughing. You this people religion. I never would rate them thing the G God. Here pull up yourself, brother. I hope you take the fucking thing as a warning and know to yourself that the deal with you good. And why you know they know the deal with you nice. Here, but I always want you know this little someone and tell you is so. They never cool with you here. Never you ever think Hindu people cool with you, brother. Here, never think you there between thin line. A love or hate with them people. You hear, brother? Right now you need a good fucking disappear off this app for long, you know, G. I see you still going on TikTok. Disappear, you know, G. Recover your fucking self for the strummings to be you do, you know. No, man, I don't rate no way this in nobody religion and the no thing. Why I feel I talk about the coffee scene. I don't rate them thing, G, and I would never rate it, G. I'm making little jokes and kicks on his own other level, but you see this cunt where you do there? You got real Indian people cry over the dog. Kai, if something take real serious, you know, you take it for laugh and fucking joke, brother. Here? You stand up at this model at me, you got sense, brother. Since before you even come and burn mother scum, them people, I want some of you have focus and stop doing anything for cloud. Baby Skello, count yourself lucky, brother. The deal with you nice, you know. That's the most I could tell you, dog. The deal with you nice. Because if it left up to me, you wouldn't know, boy. Manners and respect to everybody. No this to nobody. It's just being real and being straight. Because one thing, I see people is run off a track and run off line. It's just a simple reminder and a bring back. No this again. No this to nobody.
Isn't it ironic how he is going out of his way to try to create peace on a platform that is just known for being volatile? But yet, even in that order, somebody could be taking offense to it, not wanting to be told to stop. And I'm not pointing fingers, but I'm just saying that it could be anything that has led to this. And it's early days, so speculation is all that we have as the investigation unfolds. Well, this is not to say that this is the reason why, but I'm just saying that there are people out there that will dislike you just for holding an opinion. There are people out there that will dislike you because of the attention that you're getting on social media, possibly even because they think that you're monetized and they are envious of your earnings on social media. There's so many reasons why social media can be a pathway to building enemies who would actually want to take your life. We've seen it with Lola Doll. And Lola has had ongoing beef with different people at different times. But before we go into this, let me just describe to you what is allegedly the case with Nelly. So, according to this report here that was released by Travis Chase on HGP Nightly News, the well-known businessman and social media personality, whose name is Leonard Farley, who's called Nelly, has been rushed to hospital after being attacked and stabbed while at the Stabroek market. The incident happened Wednesday afternoon. His condition is listed as stable. Farley's attacker has not been captured, and more details are on the way. So, obviously, they are in the middle of investigating this to find out what in God's name has happened. He was stabbed multiple times. That's as much as we know. He has been rushed to hospital. According to HGP, he is in stable condition. But, this is crazy. What is happening in Guyana? Why is it that these young people are being targeted in this way? We have it in Jamaica as well. We've had quite a few of our influencers, TikTokers, who have been the victims of attacks, some of which have been fatal. And it just goes to show you that there are two sides to having a platform, and why it is that I have made a conscious decision to try and change my approach with how I deal with certain topics. A lot of you want to see us come on here as influencers and attack people, verbally destroy them, destroy their character, drag people when you're not happy with them, and so on and so forth. It is difficult to understand why you can't see as the public that encouraging this kind of behavior can lead to these kind of things. I've observed some of you, even on Melly Mel's page. Now, when you guys see Melly Mel going for people instead of calming the situation down, the vast majority of you basically incense her to do even more damage. And when something, and God forbid something should ever happen to her, but should anything happen to her, who's going to be there to pick up the pieces? Everybody's going to be there lighting a candle, singing a sankey, and, finding your way back home. And Melly Mel is there in her problems. And other social media creators I've seen, you guys do the same thing too. I've seen Lola Doll on lives cussing and carrying on, and people are in the comments going, yeah, rubber, donor, cause she scunt. I've seen it so many times, and all of you are happy to see social media personalities act out and go after somebody because you're thinking it's social media, it's not going to go any further. But when you take a look, you've got some real crazy people out there that are not going to leave social media beef on the internet. They're going to take it and they're going to bring it to your doorstep, and they're going to bring it into real life. I listened to a live last night that was directed towards fire feelings. And that individual was more or less threatening to attack the wife of Fire, and saying that she would actually, use a weapon and stab out her belly and all them kind of things. And I'm just thinking to myself, these kind of things that you guys are saying, what could happen in real life? And to be honest, it was in response to a commentary that was made on her page where she felt like she was also threatened. And, we have to stop these things. I don't care which side it's on. These kind of things, no matter what, can lead to what we're looking at right here. And I think that it's easier said than done, because when people say offensive things, people get angry and they want to lash out, and you want to just tell them anything. But you see, Like I said, some people, they're going to leave it online. Some people, they're going to bring it to real life. And I do not know what could have happened where this young man is concerned. But it's clear that, he was yet another target. So I ask everybody to please lift up this young man in prayer and hope that he gets better soon. Just as how we've said, we really hope that Lola Doll improves. Okay. So, as an update to the case with Lola Doll, a recent press release, I don't even know what to call it, but Anon News GY on Facebook, could just be some random person. I don't know how legit they are. But they claim that they're giving an update that Lola Doll's insulting comments may have triggered assassination attempts. According to this status, Georgetown, a woman known on social media as Lola Doll, is believed to have become the target of an assassination attempt after making insulting remarks about a child's appearance on Facebook. Reports suggest that Lola Doll's controversial comments struck a nerve and may have fueled anger among her critics, eventually leading to a violent response. While investigations into the incident are still ongoing, many observers point to a history of making derogatory and demeaning remarks online, particularly targeting other women, as a possible trigger. Over the years, Lola Doll has built a reputation on Facebook for her harsh and often offensive commentary. Her frequent attacks on the appearance and character of others have drawn heavy criticism, with many branding her behavior as cyberbullying. Authorities have not yet confirmed whether the attempted attack was directly connected to her recent comments, but the incident highlights the growing dangers of online conflicts spilling into real-life violence. A wanted bulletin was issued for Paul Darby Jr., who is also a sanctioned person by the United States government for his role in the international drug trade. Paul's sanctions came in the same season as Azadin Mohammed's sanction, who is a close friend of Lola Doll. Now, this Anon News, whoever the hell page, sound like it's a politically aligned page, already with an agenda, because this right here is some absolute fuckery. I don't even know how else to describe it, because I'm well aware of this conflict with Lola Doll and this individual, and I'm pretty certain she said exactly what the hell went down. But anyway, let me remind you people who are trying to twist the narrative with your false news. Listen right here.
This particular individual, her name is Sonia. Y'all can remember Sonia? The day when I tell Sonia and I abuse her scum because they're sharing things and they're posting me. I'm going on and going on and going on and going on. Out to respect. Before I call Sonia, I message her, going to inbox. I said, Sonia, why are you talking things like that about me? Me, you don't have no problem. I don't know you from nowhere. You don't know me. Why are you talking these things about me? I'm not even on Facebook. I left it for all half an hour. Me see she respond. Good. Before I come for shit, I go and call Rondell. She's a child father. Right? I go and I call the child father. I say, Rondell, you is real. You is me. And I respect him, my brother. Y'all listen to me now. Listen to me. Good. I say, Rondell, I respect you as my brother. Alright? So I just calling you to tell you. Your baby mother is troubling me on Facebook. I'm not even on the app. If I want to go and approach this girl, I can't even go on my own page. I gotta go on my assistant page. Because she's disrespectful. He tells you whatever he tells you, she still continue for post. And I cautious contour because I feel like you can't fucking manage your woman. You can't control your woman. And any man who can't control the woman is a pussy. Fuck off. He's a pussy, Rondell. I say so. Your pokey bigger than Bob Marley funeral. He's a pussy. Because I call you and say, Rondell, your baby mother making problem. The girl's a problem, girl.
Bear in mind that this is the man who is also known as Rondell. Yes. As you can see clearly here by the wanted bulletin, name Paul Darby Jr., also called Rondell. Right. So he was the one who has subsequently handed himself in to the police after this wanted bulletin went out for the attempted murder on Lolita Calendar, aka Lola Doll. Right. Now you know say I want top drug kingpin this. Well, Lola I call a pussy. Yes. No, that take a whole lot of guts because these people operate almost like cartel. You understand? And I don't mean Vibes Cartel neither. That's some serious, serious moves there. And I can see why her father never wanted her to go live and was very concerned for her safety for the things that she was going to say. But this is the part of the live that I want you to pay attention to, that they are now trying to wipe out and point a direct finger at just Lola Doll. Listen to this.
Say that and say me baby got AIDS. The same son you run their child mother. Me baby dead and me baby got AIDS. Me 5-month-old baby. I got the screenshots. I got everything. All these things is going into the fucking commissioner of police because ya fee, ya got money, ya can frighten fucking black people run there. You can't fucking frighten me. You can't frighten me. You. I telling you though. You can't frighten me. When she post me baby picture, when she post and say, me baby got AIDS and all these things, I reply to she and I post me baby AIDS results. I do a set of tests on my child because I know this is what's going to happen. And if I go and be tarnished in life, my children, them mustn't be tarnished. It hurt me, yes. It hurt me that you talk about my child because nobody never come on the internet and talk about Aiden. Everybody see what I've been through. And everybody know from step to step, from hospital, out to hospital. Everything shows with me big belly. Everybody see. And know I's a strong fucking woman. Nothing like your pussies can fucking intimidate me. Rondell now. Wait. Think
You see what I mean? Straight away, they're trying to twist the narrative to point to Lola as the troublemaker, as the scrape, as a problem person. Yes, listen, I know she did tit for tat, and this is what I am warning against when it comes to these beasts on social media. Some battles are not worth it. Now, I'm going to give you a history of this Randell, and you will see for yourself that this was a dangerous game to play. If it is that the alleged turns out to be indeed the perpetrator, because we know, say, a man like Randell is not going to be the one that's actually going to do it. In fact, here's the picture of the guy who they have also arrested and are questioning in relation to the attempted hit. I don't know whether or not he's the one, but he also has a history when it comes to crime, including a murder charge. So anything is possible. But as I said, somebody of Randall's stature, his financial backing, the fact that he is a PPP associate, they're not going to do the job themselves. They're going to pay somebody if he's the guilty party. Right? So, according to the opensanctions.org website, as you can see here, Paul Darby Jr., otherwise known as Paul Darby Ramsushit, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Weak aliases that he has, Rondell, right? It gives his place of birth as Georgetown, Guyana, a male. He is down as a sanction for counter narcotics trafficking. Yes, counter narcotics trafficking. And the authority of that sanction is the Office of Foreign Assets Control. Now, this was processed in June 2025. So that's pretty serious. It's a recent thing. And a breakdown of the counter narcotics trafficking sanctions is that these sanctions target individuals and entities involved in international narcotics trafficking. The executive orders authorize the U.S. government to freeze assets and prohibit transactions to disrupt the financial networks of drug traffickers and dismantle their operations. So he is considered pretty high target for the United States. They see him as a huge threat when it comes to the trafficking of drugs in and out of the country. Now, in this article that was published in June 2025, the 7th, it states Cromwell Paul Darby Jr., Colombians for drug trafficking. So what we saw in this article was that a former Guyanese policeman and accused drug trafficker, Mark Cromwell, were Thursday sanctioned by the United States Treasury Department's Office of Foreign Assets Control. And then it goes on to talk about the fact that arrested two were two Colombians. Now, it shows the ring here of the narcotics trade as going in and out of Guyana and extending all the way to Europe, the United States, and the Caribbean. Now, Colombian links are serious thing. Ever heard of a Colombian necktie? And on a joke matters. Them people are dash with people for fun, bro. So this is actually quite serious, a serious level of crime. And if you can imagine that these things, they very rarely take place without blood being spilled. You know, I don't know, easy people them here where you deal with. Now, Paul Darby Jr. actually is the son of businessman Paul Darby Sr., known as Uncle Paul, and he was also known as Coolie Paul. He succumbed to COVID in Colombia. He was hospitalized for a few weeks at the COVID-19 hospital in Guyana. He was flown out of the country to receive advanced medical attention, and he succumbed to the illness. Sources said that the man was being treated since he contracted the disease, but over the weeks, there was little signs of recovery. Darby himself, as in the senior, was wanted by police in connection with several narcotics investigations. The police had also issued wanted bulletins for Darby in connection with several high-profile execution-type killings. So this man is the father of the young man who is now being questioned by the police in connection to Lola. There's a whole ring of criminal activity going on here. Serious people that Lola has crossed paths with. So you see, people, when I tell you, say you have to be careful of the kind of people where you interact with. Be careful of the people them that you put in your space. How, you know, just watch the markers. Don't ignore the red flags. Don't get caught up in the lifestyle, the hype, whatever it is that they have to offer. When certain type of people come at you, sometimes it's best to just ignore them. And I know it hard. But when you see people like this here now, Jennifer Alley had the audacity to come out with her racist bile again. She is defending herself, claiming that she has every right to behave the way she's behaving based on the comments that have been made about Coolie people by Lola. But the insensitivity, the poor timing, the downright disregard for life is crazy to me that this woman is still... Anyway, I'm not gonna say anything terrible because me no want nobody say me instigate anything, but me know some people in Jamaica get licked down for less than this. But I'm just saying to you, she just runs her mouth recklessly. Guyanese people, you're trying to tell me that there are no laws in your country against racism that can hold anybody accountable, not just Jennifer Alley, anybody accountable, especially when they run their mouths like this online. Now, when your president is telling you that he's now going to be monitoring social media and holding people to account, social media influencers and press to account for the things that they say, I wonder if it includes people like Jennifer Alley, who can come on and say all kinds of inhumane things. As we can see here in this statement that was made by the Demerara Waves Online News in Guyana, it says that President Irfan Ali on Sunday said his new administration would be targeting those who peddle disinformation and misinformation, especially on digital platforms, and go after corrupt persons in the public and private sector. In a more than 30-minute address after he took the oath of office before Chancellor and the Judiciary Roxanne George Wiltshire on the lawns of the State House before thousands of invitees, he said his government would pay close attention to global experiences when confronting and addressing such emerging threats. So obviously he's talking about the use of electronic media. We're talking about social media as well to spread propaganda and misinformation from a politically threatening point. Because he ain't paying attention to people like Jennifer Ali, who's busy on social media constantly spewing racist bile or saying inhumane things against the life of others. Cyberbullying is not being taken seriously at all. And this is how people like Jennifer Ali, and if we're going to be honest, all of these influencers who are busy cussing and going after each other, this is how people are able to get away with it. Yeah, because the government has not placed it as priority. Tell you something, here in the UK, cyberbullying is taken so seriously. You just have to tell the police that you feel threatened based on a pattern of harassment, and the police turn up at your doorstep, whoever is considered to be the perpetrator. You can get arrested like that. So quick, you understand? But this is from obviously a first world country who recognizes that these things can be fatal and that a lot of these things are crossing over into real life, right? Now, according to this recent post by the Guyana news source, Lola Dahl is currently being interviewed by the police about the shooting as her condition improves, and that Paul Dabby Jr. is still in custody. That is some good news, at least, that he is still being held, as many seem to believe that because he is PPP connected, he will be getting away with this if he is in fact guilty. But we've got to remember that we have to hold on to hopes that due diligence is being pursued and that, people are proven guilty before we pass judgment here in the court of public opinion. All right, we're going to move on now to the latest outbreak on the news. My God, the Gen Zs are going crazy in Nepal. Now, this is a typical example of power to the people. Now, we all know that mob-style violence can be a very dangerous thing because when humans take the law into their own hands, all kinds of crazy things can happen. Loss of life, loss of property, expense that's going to pass on to the taxpayer because infrastructure is being destroyed. Businesses, commerce going downhill because you've got businesses that are being targeted, burnt, loss of investment that is going to have a knock-on effect on the economy. There are several bad things that can come out of human beings taking the law into their own hands, right? Now, I don't know if you're aware of what's happening in Nepal. But just in case you missed it, Nepal's army is frantically trying to restore order after government buildings were torched and politicians attacked. The chaos in Kathmandu escalated from a demonstration over a social media ban into rage over corruption. The Prime Minister has now quit, and foreign nationals have been warned to stay away. Nepal has been shaken by the deadly protests, and the resignation of the country's Prime Minister, KP Sharma Oli, has also seen the fatality of over 20 people, with more than 1,000 injured since the unrest began. The government has in fact repealed its ban on 26 social media platforms, including Instagram. However, the shift has moved from just banning social media to an outcry against a corrupt government. The Himalayan nation has been experiencing its worst unrest in decades after a campaign highlighting the lavish lifestyles of politicians, children, and allegations of corruption took off on social media. The Gen Z have shown that they do not give a flying F. Trust me, straight after they set fire to Parliament and the Prime Minister's house, they were busy doing reels for TikTok and dances outside of the crime scene. Listen, viral videos have come out of the situation, and it shows that Gen Z are ready to do anything to protect their freedom of expression and freedom of access to the internet. The Hilton Hotel in Kathmandu was also charred after it was set fire during the recent anti-corruption protest. And unfortunately, the wife of the former Nepal Prime Minister, Jala Nath Kanal, died after sustaining severe burn injuries when the protesters set their Kathmandu home on fire. I genuinely believe that that was the breaking point for the Prime Minister, because he immediately after this resigned, despite reinstating those bans on social media. There were dreadful scenes across the country, and amid the violent anti-corruption protests, the former Prime Minister, Sher Bahadur Deuba, and his wife, who also serves as the country's foreign minister, they were assaulted by demonstrators. Protesters stormed into their residence and vandalized the property in Kathmandu. Footage from the ground shows the ex-prime minister. He was bloodied from his face in the aftermath of the attack. Protesters held the couple in their custody briefly before authorities intervened and rescued them. You're also going to see the Minister of Finance. I'm going to show you footage of them more or less attacking him. He had to escape via a river where they tormented him for some time. Listen, I've never seen such violence and such rebellion amongst people, which all was prompted by the fact that they decided to ban social media. But you see, people are going to look at it as a simple thing as Gen Z being spoilt, wanting to do TikTok reels and things like that. But what you're not understanding is social media represents the voice of the people. It is also, for many, their only outlet in a society that it renders them, unequal when it comes to achieving in life. And many people depend on social media to earn an income. It's also a way to get the news out straight from the source, which is the people. And by silencing them on social media, then they are able to control narratives, the government and the powers that be, and send out a picture of their life, which may not necessarily be true. So at the end of the day, the real truth and the real news comes from the people, and the people have control once they have got access to social media to spread their truth and to represent who they are and what their lifestyle is. Censoring the media is one of the biggest sins that you can commit in a world that relies on technology for communication. And Gen Z is not prepared to stand for it. I'm going to end this video with some scenes from Nepal. Do take a look. And of course, if you've made it this far into the video, please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. And do not forget to click that bell if you're new to my channel, so you get a notification anytime I upload new content. Big up your nice, clean self. This is your girl, Head Teacher K, and I'm out.
Bang.